And so we wanted to make sure that this was recorded for those of you that missed it. But for those of you that are here, I see that baby, Jesse. For those of you that are here, welcome to our Jewel training. We have been doing these for a couple months now, and we really want to pour back into you what we have learned ourselves. I'm Marissa Adams, a diamond. Madeline Dunlap is an emerald. And we're just going to kind of bounce off of each other as far as how to stay motivated throughout your business, what that looks like, why you might not be motivated in the season that you're in, and just different things. And these are things that I want you guys to take back to your teams. So like those of y'all that are on here, you're leaders, you're showing up, you've got teams. Even if you're a silver, you have people on your team that are looking up to you, that are watching you. And so learning how to self-motivate and doing that for yourself is going to benefit your team. Like your team is really going to benefit from you leading the way and staying motivated. And so I'm going to start off by sharing. I wrote a couple of things down that I want y'all to take away. But maybe those of you that are feeling a little lazy, feeling a little off, like you're not always motivated, you've been in kind of a down season where maybe people aren't responding to you, or you're not growing personally, or you may be feeling like you're making a bunch of excuses. You might need a vision that is bigger than you. The moment that we get clarity on the vision that we have, where we want to go, is the moment that we will wake up in the morning and go and get work done. We'll wake up and we'll have clarity to want to post on social media, or want to reach out to people, or want to go live. I, for the longest time, and I know Madeline's going to share her story here in a minute. For the longest time, you guys, even until Senior Ruby, lacked vision with Plexus. I knew that it was like something cool to kind of dip my toes into. It was a hobby of mine. I loved the products. I loved the trips, the leaders retreats, and all of that. But I really lacked like vision for like what I wanted long-term with this. Like whenever I'm a diamond, whenever I have the house, whenever I have the money, what's going to fulfill me then? Like I had to really sit down and think about long-term vision. And when you lack that, you're going to lack clarity, and you're going to lack direction on where you want to go. And so I know, I'm so proud. We've got 13 on here. I said we wanted to get more than 10. Thank y'all for showing up on Friday night. So yeah, I mean, I lacked that for a while, and that rubbed off on me as a leader. That rubbed off on my team. They didn't know where they were going because I didn't know where I was going. They didn't know the importance of going gold because I didn't really know the importance of going gold. I just knew that it was fun and that we were here and we were building a little hobby business and whatever. And so I want you guys to borrow me and Madeline's belief tonight as we're kind of talking and sharing some of our tips, because it's easy to play it safe, and it's easy to get caught in that mindset of, well, if it works out, or it probably isn't going to last, but like I'm here, I'm here for as long as I can. And that is a very, it's a very, I feel like when I had that mindset, it was a very hard season to get out of, and a very hard thing mentally to get out of, because that rubbed off on me showing up to team calls, me going to and hosting events, me developing jewels and leaders underneath me that saw this long-term. When you don't see this long-term for your family, your people are not going to see it long-term for their families. When you don't have a big vision to not just go jewel, but like to serve and to do this as ministry, or to use this money to build a dream home. Well, when you do build that dream home, then what are you going to do? What kind of people are you going to fill that home with? How are you going to use that home to serve? Whenever you do make $20,000 a month, what's that money going to go towards? Okay, let's say you become debt free and you pay off all your credit card debt, but then what happens next? And so we're constantly trying to fill this void and this inner want and desire of, I want more. Well, guys, more money doesn't mean more freedom. More money doesn't mean more joy. More money doesn't mean a better status or a better influence. Like You guys, I grew up, we weren't poor, but we basically lived paycheck to paycheck. And Christmas time, I remember growing up was always such a hard time in my family's life because my mom was always stressed. She was like, well, you have all these things on your list. I don't know what we're going to get you. Like, we've got 5 kids. Like, and I'll never forget, like, always thinking when I was younger, like, I want to make more money because I don't ever want to do, like, I don't want to feel this way. And but you guys, even as a diamond, like I was just telling Madeline earlier, I've walked across the stage as a diamond. I have experienced Emerald Extravaganza. This will be my 4th year to go to Emerald Extravaganza. I have experienced driving a Lexus off of the lot, which was so freaking fabulous. I have experienced a lot of money, a lot of money. I think our check this month was like $18,000. Okay. I have experienced a lot of money. But you guys, I wrote this down. It says all of these things are great. That income's great. That rank is great. That on stage recognition. I got to train at convention. They asked me to train the jewel call next week. All of those things are so great. But nothing is more special. Nothing is more special than your own joy. Because if you do not have joy as a gold, you're not going to have joy as a diamond. If you don't have joy as a silver, you're not going to have joy as a gold. So while y'all are trying to rush things, oh good, I'm glad Brittany's on here. I get to preach to her too. I get to preach to her. She knows she knows I like to preach to her. But truly, y'all, if we do not have joy in the season that we're in right now, we're not going to have joy when we get to where we want to be. Like, everybody's goal here is obviously to be a jewel, right? Like, we all want to be jewels, but like that jewel rank is not going to feel, it's going to feel a little bit of satisfaction for like a couple months. Like, you're going to be walking around like, I'm a jewel. This is so cool. Like, I get to go to Hawaii. Like, I get to experience all the things. But guys, your vision has to be bigger than you, or you're never going to be happy in any season that you're in. I've even caught myself as a diamond revisiting, like, okay, Marissa, this isn't about you. So what do you want to do? How do you want to serve? How do you want to show up? Do you want to give back in the Christian school that just launched in your hometown? Do you want to do this? Do you want to pour into these people? Do you want to do a summer Bible study with Jake and his friends? Like, I start having all these ideas. And guys, when I start feeling like this is about me, I get really convicted, and the Lord starts really starting to kind of be heavy on my heart of like, why are you here? Why are you here? This isn't about you. This is about what kind of impact you're making along the way within your family, within your teams. Your kids get to see you grow. Like, what rank are y'all? Let me know y'all's ranks in the comments. Senior silver, gold, senior gold, ruby, senior ruby. What are y'all? So, like I said, your vision has to be bigger than you. And I've experienced it all, and I'm so thankful, and it's been such a blessing, and I will always share those blessings. But y'all have to sit there and ask yourself, because everything in this business truly is figure outable. So everybody, we've got 16 people on this call. I want y'all to know that you will be a jewel if you don't give up, and if you learn as you go. If you learn and you grow through all the things. Giving up can't be an option. But y'all are playing it small. Y'all are playing it small. And that's why you're not growing. That's why you're not developing leaders. That's why you may be feeling stuck or like you're in a season, because you're playing it small. And so I'm going to let Madeline share about that for just a minute. I know for years, you've got your own Therapedes business, and like, she's a boss already outside of Plexus. And so for years, we were like, Madeline could be a jewel. And she was like, it's like, this is cool. Like, this is a hobby. But like, where do you feel like that shifted? Like, because there are people on here that look at this like a hobby, type side gig, which is totally fine. But if you are wanting to grow and you are wanting to make what we call gangster money, you almost have to shift your mindset from I play it small side gig to long-term vision, big vision, servantship. Like, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I definitely didn't foresee me, being at Jewel and sitting here right now, honestly, because when getting started, like she said, I have a therapy business for those that don't know. And so my life is busy. And as a business owner, that was growing. And I'm so thankful for therapies and what it's provided for me and my family. And I was able to bring my husband home from his full-time like electrical engineering job, like through all of that. So never taking that for granted. It's my baby. We actually celebrate our 5 year in business. It's this month, but we have a big celebration next week. And so, but here I saw it more as a way to help other people experience it. So like for me, developing a team, I want all my girls, all my people to go there with me. I don't want to be up there alone. Me walking across the stage with my people that were up there. I mean, not on my specific team, but like Natalie, Cheyenne, Brittany, like I feel like us being up there together was so great. But I'm like, I envision my girls being up there with me, and that's what drives it for me. Like being here, and it truly is, it's all about servantship, like you're saying, and like pouring in. But you do, like, I really wanted to talk about mindset because I feel like so many times people are like, well, I just don't have that positive mindset that you have. I don't have, like, I don't respond positively to everything like you do. And I'm just like, so, and people will ask for that, or even some of these coaching calls I've been doing, a lot of the response I'm getting is that, it's a mindset shift, or that's their issue right now, is like, oh, my mindset is just not right. And I'm like, well, why? Like, are we setting in a fixed mindset, or are we in a growth mindset? And I know we briefly talk about that, but it's like, truly, how are we responding to things, right? Like, I love to say, like, we get to be here, right? Like we get to wake up, we get to go to work, we get to drink our restore, we get to be on this call. Like I love having that perspective and bringing that to light, because so many times things that we get to do, people are saying we have to do. So then it just naturally shifts your mind. Like literally, if you say it out loud, like I get to be on this call, I have to be on this call. It just changes. It changes your feelings about everything. And so
Mhm.
so many times when I'm talking to these people, it's like, yeah, but I have to, get on a call, or I have to, go to an event. Or whatever. It's like little trickle things in there. And I'm just like, whoa, whoa, whoa. You have to, or do you want to be there, and you get to be there? Because guess what? You doing that kind of stuff is going to be what advances you forward, period. And so for me, I know, like, starting this and just kind of in each season, and honestly, y'all, I enjoyed every season I was in. I loved being gold. And I rocked it out while I was at gold. I enjoyed the journey. I embraced the journey, and I knew that God had me right where I was supposed to be. And so for me, in each point of my business, I've embraced it. I've embraced every challenge that has come my way, but I've also just grown. I've grown as a leader. I've grown as a person. I've grown in all areas of life. I've grown as a wife, as a mom. I mean, you name it. The products are amazing. I mean, hello, right?
Mhm.
Um, and so like I feel like for me, I love speaking on growth mindset. I know I'm leading a devotional. I don't know if I know some of you are in it right now, and it's on the believing right here. The believing bigger, the 100 days of believing bigger. And like it all is just it's so good. But what we are feeding our minds, y'all, like will feed our spirit and will ultimately dictate our responses to things. Okay.
Yeah.
So if we're not filling it with positivity, if we're not feeding it with just good spiritual truths, y'all, like we need biblical truths poured into us. And that's going to dictate our responses to things. Okay. Like if we are, like upset about something, how are we responding? What are we doing about it? How are we embracing the challenges? Are we hitting it head on? Are we doing it with integrity? Are we doing it with a willingness to grow? Are we coachable? Like I love talking about being coachable, because you can do so much with that. If you're willing to learn this business, and you're willing to just grow, like Marissa said earlier, everything is figure outable. It truly is. And that's the beauty of this, y'all. Like there is no risk with this business. And like from a business minding standpoint, and just someone that owns a business, there was a big risk in me going out and starting my own therapy company. I left a job making a good salary income to go step out and start seeing one kid to hopefully it grow in order to supplement. Okay, that took big bold faith, and I have it, y'all. Like I have no worries. I knew exactly whenever I took that leap of faith where we were headed, but it still took that jump. It still took that action, right? And so that is here too. Like we have to have action behind our goals, y'all. Goals written down are just goals written down. Okay. Where is the action? What are we doing about it? Are we showing up? Are we showing up once a week, once a month? And we're wanting to be Joel. Are we showing up to events or making excuses? Like, where are we at? And then when you sit down and you do an audit of where you're at in this business, and you're like, well, I'm not doing any of that stuff, but I want to be Joel. Well, then it's like, hey, sis, we got to figure out where you truly want to be. And that's I'm speaking from me because Marissa, Natalie, everybody's looking at me going, Mad, you can do it. You've got this. You could be Joel. You got to just believe it. You got to believe bigger. You got to go for it. You've got to dig deeper, and you got to see what this could be on the other end. And I had to make that call of like, well, do I believe that? Do I see that? What am I going to do about it? Am I going to have that mindset shift? Am I going to dig deeper? Am I going to truly understand my why here? And that ultimately became it was revealed to me at that point. And so that's exactly what I did. To answer your question, Marissa, I just, shifted my mindset of like, I have a calling here, I have a purpose here, and it is to help my girls. It's to help my team and honestly everybody else. Because let me tell you, I've done probably 10, 12 coaching calls with people not even on my team because I want to help people. Like that is my heart, is to help like literally anybody on here on my team or not. Like I would love to connect with you guys because for me, there might be something that you pick up that I share with you that you can take and you can become something successful in this with it. And I'm going to literally cheer you on every step of the way. There is no jealousy. There is no time for that. There is no competition. Like I joke, but like I found a quote like recent or like I guess my life motto, which my therapist, I don't know if any are on here, but like kind of jokingly throw it around with me now because it's like I have found like my motto in life of living a life fully unbothered. And like not to say I'm careless or like not empathetic or things like that, but I don't let little things bother me. I'm such a person that like if something happens, I'm going to either problem solve it and let it roll out, or I'm just going to literally move on. Like I am so unbothered by the worldly things, the worldly ways. And y'all, it has brought so much like joy and peace and calmness. And it's like, I wish I could just share that with everybody because, sometimes it is easy to get in that, especially in this business of like, okay, well, I didn't rank as fast as that person did. Or I didn't go as fast all the way up the ladder, or I didn't fast start like that person did, and we started the same time. And now we're dealing with a lot of that competition, but it goes back to the mindset, right? It goes back to, well, where are we at? Are you believing bigger in you? Your journey is your journey. It is you versus you here. And that's why I love it because whatever you put in is what you're going to get out. So, hey, I just want to be at silver and I want to get my products paid for. That is fine. That is great. You keep doing what you're doing. And that once a week or whatever, once a month showing up and posting about something will work for you. But then you've got the people that truly want to retire and be home with their babies or whatever that looks like. And if that's you, we got to put in the work. Like we've got to put in some action steps behind it. And so I'm sorry, I'm like preaching on Marissa's over here
I
like
love it. No, I love it because I need like I told you earlier, I have me and Brittany, like I don't have those of y'all that don't know, I don't have me and Brittany don't have like as far as a mentors that have like guided us and like hype us up on calls. And so I love it so much. I'm normally the preacher and the hype girl, but like just having that. And that's something I wanted to share with y'all is like, there are people, and I want y'all to think about these people. There are people when you walk in a room that are confident, that love people well, that love the Lord, that aren't judgmental, that aren't in competition. They're a light. And that should be what we are striving for. Like, I want all of you, obviously, to be a jewel and experience 6 figures a year. I want y'all to experience driving the Lexus off of the parking lot. I want y'all to experience walking across stage at convention and going to Emerald Extravaganza in Hawaii or Mexico. But I want y'all to experience joy, and like, I want y'all to experience peace and like being a light. Like, I want people to look at you and say, oh, she's grown. Like, I can't wait for y'all to see my Diamond documentary. Blakely Rosin, they interviewed her, and literally she says she has grown a whole lot. And I'm so glad that she said that, because I'm not the same person that I was 7 years ago. And I want y'all to know that, like, you're not going to be the same person a year from now if you are working on yourself, if you are improving your mindset, if you are finding ways to show up and serve. Like, one of my favorite ways that I talk about serving on our team is the Love Dare Challenge. And we haven't done it in so long, but we used to do the Love Dare Challenge. And every Monday, we would reach out to 3 people, non-plexus related, and we would say, hey, Jenny, I was just thinking about you. You were on my heart today. Is there anything specific that you need prayer for? You know, I mean, and it's very like non-plexus related, showing up to serve without expecting anything in return. Like, you can do all of these things, but if you're expecting them to join your team, if you're expecting something in return, God knows that. Like, he knows if you're in this for yourself or if you are in this truly to love people and to bring people closer to him. And he's going to reveal that. He's going to make you uncomfortable. He's going to make you, you know, if you're going to feel a little uneasy. Like, I used to have this friend group where we would all get together, and every time I would leave there, I would be like, we literally just talked about everybody. Like, I would lay my head down at night and be like, what did I even get out of that? Like, we just sat and talked about everybody. And I no longer do life with them. I mean, it was a slow process of like eliminating myself. But like Madeline said, I'm loving Catherine with the toilet tissue. Like Madeline said, like, you almost have to come to this place of being unbothered so that you can fully step into your purpose of what the Lord has over your life. Because let me tell you something, jealousy is a sin. Comparison, bitterness, anger, all of that, like, that is all rooted in sin. And the enemy wants you to be jealous. The enemy wants you to compare. The enemy wants Brittany to be like, Brittany, Marissa's passed you in 2 ranks. You are a worthless leader. The enemy wants her to think that. She has thought that, y'all. We have called each other multiple times about mindset and about prayer and about things that she feels, because the enemy knows how to attack her. Okay. The enemy knows how to attack you. He wants you to feel like you don't have influence, like you're not a leader, like you don't have the personality, like you don't have the time, like you don't, I mean, he wants you to think all these things. And that is all rooted in sin, because we are allowing him into our minds and into our lives. And so I want y'all, and a couple of things that I wrote down, and Madeline's going to give you a couple of like tips as far as like where to move forward from here, how to improve our minds, like how do we close out July strong with a positive mindset. I wrote down number 1, we've got to be doing something every day to improve our mind and motivate us. So y'all can probably vouch for this, especially like I know Catherine's been with us for a while, Michaela's been with us for a while. Jenny, you've been with us for a while. You know as well as I that if you go a week without getting on a team call or reading your book or doing your devotional, you get caught up in everyday life and you're like back down on the totem pole, like, I'm good. Like, I'm going to make excuses. I'm not going to show up on this Friday night Zoom because it's not just all that important. Like, I can catch the recording later, right? So we get in that headspace because we naturally are not doing something every day to motivate us because we've got everyday life. Okay. But think about your relationship with Jesus. Truly. I want you to think about that, because I got saved in the 6th grade. I remember it very clearly, but I did not fully step into a relationship with the Lord until my like 25. Me and Jake are getting baptized on the 21st at the river at 5 o'clock. We're going to get to do that together. And that is something that will be the best memory of my entire life, getting baptized with my 11-year-old son. So I say that because for years, I treated my relationship with the Lord almost like a check on the box. Okay, check on the box. I ain't going to hell now because I asked him in my heart, right? Like, check on the box. I know who he is, so it makes me a good person. Check on the box. I go to church, so I'm good. Like, I went Easter Sunday. That counts. I took my picture. Like, I had these checks on my boxes, and it goes with your business. If you are not growing your relationship with the Lord daily, you're going to be so far away from him. The enemy's really going to start taking over your mind, taking over your marriage, taking over you as a mom, taking over your friendships and your community. He's really going to take over that. And so when I say that about every day, some type of motivation, it has to be some type of motivation, some type of learning. So like your relationship with God, like, are you sitting down and are you talking to him? Are you growing? Are you doing your devotional? Are you spending time just listening to him, not just talking to him and praying for things that you want, but like, are you listening to him, what he wants over your life? Same with your business. Are you spending time daily improving yourself, improving your mindset? Because one convention a year is not going to keep you motivated for 365 days out of the year. Me and Brittany, we've gone to so many different events and we'll leave there and we're like, ooh, we're fired up. And then 2 weeks later, we're like, okay, we need to do something. Like, because it's just natural. You get back into the everyday, craziness of life. So every day doing something to improve yourself and motivate yourself, whether that's a podcast, whether that's a book, whether that's a YouTube video, a diamond documentary, something. Okay. Second thing, you need to recognize where your mind goes negative. Okay. You need to recognize this. Is it jealousy? Is it anger? Is it comparison? Is it a little bit of bitterness? Is it not feeling worthy enough or good enough or qualified enough? Recognize where your mind is going negative. Okay. And almost audit that. Okay. What is that rooted from? And I'm almost positive because I've done a lot, and Madeline knows more therapy than I do, but I've done a lot of like just coaching. I'm big on mental health. I'm a suicide survivor. So I'm really big on like getting to the root of why we feel the way that we feel. It probably has something to do with your childhood. And it probably has something to do with some type of trauma, and it doesn't even have to be physical trauma. It can be emotional trauma. It could be like, for instance, I got bullied in high school really bad. And, some of the worst years of my life. And I remember I kind of evaluated myself with Plexus and I thought, I'm doing this so that I can have a community of people that love me and that don't make fun of me. But then I was almost like living in like this people pleasing, like, okay, well, I want to make them happy. And if they're not happy, then that means that I'm not good. And so I had to like really audit and like sit down and be like, okay, what does this stem from? I did this with Brittany in the airport about a year ago. We were like, okay, Britt, what does this stem from? And it's just when you say it out loud or write it down, like write down why you feel bitter or why you feel like you compare or why you feel jealous or why you feel like you're not good enough. Write it down and tell somebody, like tell your sponsor, hey, this is why I'm feeling the way that I'm feeling. That's one thing. Before I let Madeline share, like I say that about addressing the root issue of a negative mind, because we cover it up. How many times are you covering it up? How many times are you like, okay, new day, let's just keep rolling. But like that never goes away. Like those thoughts don't really ever go away until you have addressed them and healed from them. That's one of my favorite parts of Plexus is the healing that has come mentally, emotionally, spiritually as a leader, like growing as a leader. I have healed through a lot of things that happened to me when I was a child, things that happened to me when I was even a young adult. Like I got pregnant right out of high school. You should have heard my hometown with that situation. Okay. I mean, Like I have healed from a lot of those things. And so I think for a lot of y'all that feel these certain feelings, it stems back from something that has gone on, and it naturally will make you feel negative or not good enough. And when you can overcome those things, you're going to slowly start to become more confident. You're going to be leading a call like this one day. You're going to be speaking on stage. You're going to be hosting events. You're going to be coaching your people through things. And it's not for everybody. This is not for everybody. Okay. This is for the few that want to grow and want to grow through what they go through and want to come out a healed person and serve and want this to be bigger than themselves. That's who this is for. And I've seen a lot of people come and go. Brittany's seen a lot of people come and go. We've been doing this for a long time. And like, there are people that got me to Ruby, a lot of them aren't even with me today. The people that got me to Emerald, there's like maybe 2 that are still with me today. Okay. And that just, I saw Rachel's face go, really? It's funny and it's crazy because that just goes to show you that even in my journey of being a Ruby and senior Ruby, I had a lot of growing to do. I had a lot of growing still left to do, becoming an Emerald and learning how to connect with people. Now, do those people still order? A lot of them do, yes, but they're not growing their businesses. They're not leading teams. They're not wanting to, go jewel. And so it takes the few that see it, that see a vision bigger than themselves and stop making excuses and go for it. And every single one of you on here can do it. Y'all can make it happen with the coachings that we can do from your jewels, with the monthly incentives, with all the trips. I mean, new products. We're with the best company. And I say that because there's a lot of companies out there that come and go, and Plexus has been around for how long? They're not going away. They're going to continue to come out with new stuff. And I've seen it firsthand. So Madeline, what couple things could they, as far as like leaving here, taking away? We've got, what do you do daily? How are you improving yourself daily? And then addressing the root of that negative mindset and where that comes from. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, no, I love all that. I think that's really good. I want to just add a little bit on that of just like consistency. So like I feel like the people that I see do really well in this is the people that are consistent. And I'm not saying that you have to just literally, we always say like Plexus is a part of your life, not all of your life. So I'm not saying where you're just like so caught up in it and you're like only posting Plexus stuff and all of that stuff, but like just consistent. Like you're showing up pretty consistently on calls, team calls, events, you're doing the challenges, you're posting, you're talking on your stories, you're willing to like lead a group, you're showing some sort of initiative to take on some sort of role, and you are showing up consistently, because what I'm telling you, in this industry, people are watching, but people are also waiting for you to fail. They're waiting for you to no longer be doing this. Okay. So, because so many people do come and go. And again, it's not for everybody, but the consistent people that show up and do the tasks, the micro tasks and the things that we share with you guys to do are the ones I see that have the steady growth and that end up doing it, right? And so that's ultimately why we're here. So I love that. I love the saying about how 80% of this business is mindset, because it is so true. You have to be in control of your mind. If not, it will spiral down. And then it's not going to be enjoyable and it's not going to be fun. And this is supposed to be fun. Y'all, this is fun. Like the community is fun. The products are amazing, and like sharing them with your friends and doing this as an accountability with people, and just growing together and learning together and encouraging one another and loving on each other. Like this is fun, and it's supposed to be fun. And so at any point that it's not, you need to reevaluate. And like I love the why. Like everyone says, like, know your why. And I love that. And you need to know it. And your why is going to change in each season here. But also I love when you write down your why and then you say why to that. So like they call it like the 7 layers. And I'm going to challenge you all to do this, not right now, but when we get off here and share it with your sponsor, the 7-layer why. So basically you'll say like, okay, my why is I want to go emerald, say for example, whenever, because I had written this out. And so why do I want to go emerald? Well, I want to impact my team and I want to lead other people there. Okay, well, why do you want to do that? Well, because I want them to experience and so it's 7 layers. And it is so good because let me tell you, it'll also get you thinking because you're like on number 6 and you're like, well, it's a good question, but, and then you're like writing. And so it digs deeper because truly that's going to be what motivates you and gets you moving. It's going to be what makes you, wake up and do the thing, do the hard thing, waking up early to set your time to work on your business or to stay up later or to, like, um, carve out those intentional times for your business. It's going to be what motivates you to do the hard, right? So, what is that for you? And again, it's going to change over your seasons here, but dig deeper into knowing your why and do the 7 layers because I'm telling you, it's going to reveal a lot to you. You're going to be like, here it is. This is why. And it's going to be so cool because in a year from now, when you have that 7 layer why, you're going to then do it again, or even in 6 months, and you're going to be like, whoa, like, look at this. Like, it is so cool. And this Believing Bigger on the first or second day one. Yeah. This was when I started this 2.5 years ago. And so I had like a therapies like goal too, because again, I was like really building the business and things like that at the time. And I talked about how I was looking for an abundance of physical therapists because I was in just dire need of PT. And y'all, we have set at literally our 3-team PT team for a very long time. And 2.5 years later, I'm reading this devotional again, and we're hired 2 new PTs that I had a hard time finding that start next month. Like I read that and I was like, I shared with my PT team, like, y'all, I have been praying for this, and it is written down from 2.5 years ago. I have the date. Like amazing how God works, right?
Yeah, write
So
it
I
down.
love that.
I don't know if y'all
Yes, write it
I don't know
down.
if y'all have a devotional that you're doing. The 100 Days of Believing Bigger is good. The there's a couple other ones I'll share. I want you guys in just a little bit. We're gonna do a post in the Hope Dealers on what you took away emotionally from this call. And I'll share some of my favorite devotionals in there, but write it down because I don't know if y'all saw my post this week about don't give up. Like God knows the deepest desires of your heart. I remember my vision board years ago. I think I was a Ruby, had a white farmhouse on the cover, like on land, and like we're literally living in a white farmhouse to this day on 5 acres with a 20-acre pond behind us. My papa was able to build it because of Plexus. And so that all started from that vision of like, what do we want? Like, I wanted a house with our kids. I wanted land. I wanted a house to be able to like bring these other kids here and play. And I've always wanted to be that house where like kids can come and feel comfortable and feel welcome and get fed and all the things. But like now, even now, compared to 2019 when I was a Ruby, and Brittany can vouch for this, we are living in a very expensive world. It's like $1,000 every time we step out of our home. Like it's really expensive. And somebody shared today, and I want y'all to let this sink in. It says if your parents made $80,000 a year in the 90s, you'd have to make $246,382 in 2024 to have the same life.
That's
So if
so
your
crazy.
parents made 80K in the 90s, you would have to make almost 250 grand to have the same life. And it says, let that marinate in your spirit for today. And so if that
Ooh,
does not motivate you to want to grow in the deepest desires of like figuring out who you are and growing as a leader, this business is not, let me add people to earn an incentive every month. Like this business is not, let me grab these friends so that I can earn an Andor wallet. Like those are just incentives that are there, obviously for fun. But like I'm talking growing your business, enrolling, retaining them, signing people up, making sure that they're ordering every month, helping them go silver, learning how to lead. And it's going to take you getting off of a call like this and saying, I'm all in. I'm all in. Like, let me learn, let me grow, like, let me do all the things. I'm all in. And that's going to take writing down. Like Madeline just said, she wrote that down how many years ago? And she's living a life that she prayed for all these years ago. And so write it down, share it with a friend. You should be sharing. I just actually shared on my stories about our call tonight. Like, we're on a call, we're getting motivated on a Friday night, y'all. Like, years ago, I was like going to dinner on a Friday night, but we're here and we're hanging out and we're growing and we're learning together. And that's the beauty of this type of business. So I love that, Madeline. Definitely write it down.
Yes, I love that. So really the last question I have is like, what is holding you back? Like truly just like think about it for yourself. You don't have to, write that out or anything, but in your head, like think about it. What is holding you back? Is it the fear of people? Is it the fear of what they will think? Is it the fear of failure? Like, why are we not being bold about this opportunity? Like, what do we have to lose? Is kind of how I see it. And honestly, y'all, I was fearful of that because I was very product, like I'll post about the products and because I love them. But like I was so fearful about the opportunity, about posting it and being bold about it. But there's an audience out there that was waiting to receive that, right? There was an audience out there. Starlight, I see you right now, right on my uh camera. But like if I wasn't bold enough about, like sharing about the opportunity, then she wouldn't be here kind of thing. And now she's experiencing it. And y'all, she is like, I don't know if y'all have met her yet but like a breath of fresh air, like brings so much joy. Just like her presence, her spirit is just incredible. But like, I think of it that way. And I want you guys to think of it like, stop holding back. Be be bold about it and what it's doing and how this just the community, y'all. People are craving good community. People are craving to be around good people and to be encouraged and to feel supported and loved. Like this world is heavy. It is hard. And so like being bold about that, and I'm just challenging everybody to just kind of think about it. Like really what is holding you back? And I saw this quote today, someone shared, and I was like, wow, this is interesting. People are not showing off. They are sharing happy moments and achievements. Unless you are viewing from a jealous point of view, go fix yourself. I was like, oh, drop the mic. Like, seriously, like, be bold about how you're happy here and don't let the fear of what they think on the other side of you. And honestly, you don't want them with you. You don't want them on this journey with you, right? Like, if there's someone judging you for being bold about posting about this opportunity and what it's done for you, bye. Like, we don't want them on here anyways, right? Like, and so I'm just kind of having you think about that and think about what is possibly holding you back. And so last thing is just the comparison. I don't know how long do we have? Does it show? I don't
No,
see it
you're
anywhere.
good. We got the
Oh,
upgraded
okay.
version.
Oh, okay. I was just gonna do like the growth mindset versus fixed mindset. I had the little graphic and I thought it was so good because sometimes you might not be all growth or all fixed, but there might be just areas that you can kind of tweak or help you shift your mindset to that growth because ultimately we want to be all in the growth mindset in order to just truly live that life that we've been talking about of just joy and peace and living a life unbothered. Like that's my motto. So growth mindset would see like it would embrace challenges. A fixed mindset would avoid challenges. Growth mindset would learn from feedback and criticism, whereas a fixed mindset would ignore the criticism. Growth mindset, intelligence and talent. Oh, I gotta get glasses. I cannot wait for my appointments on Tuesday. Intelligence and talent can be developed, whereas for a fixed mindset, intelligence and talent is fixed. Ooh, I like that. A growth mindset, they have more effort, whereas fixed is less effort. Keeps trying and never gives up for a growth mindset, gives up easily for a fixed mindset. Persist in the face of setbacks for growth. And then I'm a failure for fixed mindset. Inspired by other success, that's a growth mindset. Threatened by other success is fixed. I will learn from failure is a growth mindset. And then I always fail is a fixed mindset. This will take time and hard work as a growth mindset. I will never improve is a fixed mindset. And the last one is I want to keep learning as a growth mindset. And why should I bother even trying is a fixed mindset. So I love it because sometimes like we might not be all, but like there might be like I'm always the one that gives up easily or something like that could be you. And you're like, man, I do give up easily. But if I shift it and just like keep trying and never give up, and that's really what this is about, y'all. If you never give up, you're going to experience some great things here. You could experience a trip. You could experience some financial blessings. You can experience, obviously, the community and all the things that it comes with. You can experience growth as a mom, as a wife. Like you can experience so much if you don't give up. And that's literally what we always say, right? Like the only time you fail is if you give up. So it should be non-negotiable. It should just be something that it's just not happening. Like I'm here, I'm committed. And if you are committed, people will follow people who know where they are going. And so that's really what it comes down to is people want to see that consistent person showing up in and out, and they are going to eventually jump on. I promise everything right now. I tell my people this all the time. You are planting seeds. You are pruning right now for to bear good fruit. And so don't give up.
Yeah, I love it. No, I love it so much. I'm going to pray over us. Y'all, we've been on here for 40 minutes, like almost 50 minutes. We are at it. Me and Madeline both text each other. We're like, let's bring the heat. And we brought it. So I just posted in the Hope Dealers group asking what y'all took away. I would love for y'all to go share that. I would love for y'all to share on your stories. Do a post, do your stories, share that, share with your teams, text a friend. What did you learn? So I'm going to go ahead and pray. And then I want y'all to share that. And then I will also share the recording in the comments along with some of my favorite like mindset devotional stuff. And y'all can check those out. So let me pray. Lord, thank you for this group. God, thank you for Madeline and her heart and her wisdom. Lord, you put us together for a reason tonight. And there's people on this call and watching the recording that needed this wisdom, that needed this hype, that needed this fire and these words to help them grow, to help them get out of that comfortable seat that's just keeping them stagnant. Lord, help us to go after these God-sized dreams and to be bold and to be confident. And Lord, give us that. That confidence comes from you. And Lord, I just ask that you remove any negative feelings on this call tonight, that maybe they're scared or they're bitter or they're jealous or they're comparing. Lord, they may have fear that they'll not get to Jewel, or they'll have fear that they're not a good leader, or whatever that looks like. Lord, you know their desires of their heart. Wrap your arms around them and help them to feel so worthy tonight. Help them to know and just give them confidence that you're going to help mold them through this journey. You're going to help them grow. You're going to help their confidence and their mindset. Lord, they're being a wife, being a mom, within their job place, within their community. Lord, you're molding them right now. And Lord, this call can be a seed where they take it and it's planted and it starts to grow, and we start to see the light that they can become within their communities, within their social medias. Lord, we are so thankful for Plexus and the opportunity that you've brought into our lives and into our families' lives, not just to make money, but to focus on getting closer to you, to focus on planting seeds that can be a positive light in other people's lives. Lord, we're so thankful for you and your love. Lord, if there's anybody tonight who doesn't know you, who is struggling with that relationship with you, maybe they're questioning things, Lord, have them reach out to me or Madeline. Lord, we'd love to pray over them and just help guide them. God, I know that when I was young and got saved, and just as I got older, Lord, you just tugged at my heart, and you tugged at my heart in a way that I wanted to know you on a deeper level. And Lord, there may be some people here on this call tonight who feel that way, and God, just convict them, love on them, help them to just begin to grow that relationship with you, because at the end of the day, joy is the most important thing. Lord, we're so thankful again for your love and your grace each and every day. And for everybody on this call and their families, keep us safe this weekend. And they're such blessings to me. And I'm so thankful for this community. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, friends, I love y'all. Have a good night.